So in this video, I want to show you how I trigger samples. So for live drums, samples, if you wanted to replace your kick, snare, or toms, today we're just going to do the kick. When I record my drums, I do not use samples. Some people use samples because sometimes it does sound better than the drum, or maybe the drums weren't tuned well. It could be a number of reasons. You could be solving a problem or issue. But the first thing you do is go up to track, top left-hand corner, click on track. We are going to go down to, make sure you got your track highlighted. We're going down to replace or double drum track. Click on it. This pops up and you get an option when you first start over here in Logic. If you want to pick any number of kicks, 1 through 31. I'm just going to click number 20. So you got your kick chosen. If I leave this circle check marked or marked where it says replace, that means that once I click OK, it's going to mute the track where the kick is, which is right here. If I click double, then it's going to keep both tracks unmuted. It would be up to you depending on your song and what you're trying to do. If you're trying to completely replace your kick drum or blend in a secondary kick drum. Relative threshold. So this right here is how sensitive you want this plugin, per se, how sensitive you want it to be to the kick hits. This drum performance was very simple. Sometimes there's performances where there might be more doubles or triplets, a lot of things going on. Sometimes the trigger could sense snare bleed and maybe the snare could trigger the sample, but you don't want that because we're trying to trigger only the kick. Let me demonstrate really quick. So here is the threshold. I'm going to make the threshold extra sensitive, and right over here in this area you can see where one of the snare hits are. When I tighten up the threshold, you should see a MIDI note appear right about here. Let me see. Yep, there it is. First, let's listen to the drum set without the sample. All right, here's with the sample. I'm not sure if it's really loud or not. I'll turn it down if it is. That's with both kicks playing side by side, but I'm going to mute the recorded kick drum as if we were just replacing it. Back to what I was saying about the threshold, I need to loosen it up because you can see and hear where this snare bleed right here came through there. You have to kind of scroll through the track just to make sure that you are not triggering a sample when the snare is hitting. So I'm going to click OK. Okay, so I do have the main kick, which was recorded on the real drum set, muted, and I have this sample here. And that's pretty much it. So again, choose your track, which is your kick or your snare. You go to the next one if you're going to choose something else. Let me do the snare real quick. So go to snare. Let's say I'm going to replace the snare. I'm going to go up to track. Go down to replace or double drum track. Then I'm going to click on snare, and automatically again it takes you to numbers 1 through 33 of Logic acoustic snare drums. You could go over here to the left side and choose any drums from any electronic drum sets or hip hop or just anything you want it to do, or choose or use. I don't know what these sound like. I'm just going to choose a random snare. See what that does, and I can always go back and choose again until we find one that we like, but this is just for example purposes. So now I'm going to play the track with the recorded snare muted, but I have the sample snare is going to play in its place. That's pretty much it. I hope that made sense. If you have any questions, just drop a comment down in the comment section and I'll reply to you. Have a blessed day.